All right, so today I've got a chili meal prep. This is one of the things that kind of kept me on my diet when I was doing it before, so I wanted to go through and kind of recreate some of the good meals that I had when I was actually thin, working out, doing everything. And meal prep is one of those things that really kept me on track. So I wanted to go through, like I said, recreate some of the meals that I really liked in the beginning, or way back when I did this the first time. Chili was one of those easy go-to meals, and a lot of the time I would go to the canned stuff instead of making my own, which is a decent option, but it's not the greatest way to go. And the sodium is through the roof, which I'm definitely now trying to correct and curb now that I've got even more health problems to go along with that. So trying to get some of that stuff down. So if you can make it yourself, homemade anything is always going to be better than processed, store-bought, or anything like that. So I'm going to jump right in and show you exactly what I did for a really good slow cooker chili recipe. All right, so jumping into this chili, I've got ground turkey, which I thought would be a little bit better than beef, onion, jalapeno. So I just took the ground turkey, put it directly in the skillet. I think there's a little bit of olive oil in this one, or avocado oil, excuse me. I didn't put any seasonings in it so far, so it's literally just me chopping it up. I did add a little bit of salt and pepper, just a little bit after this. So that's about the only seasoning I added at this point. And then of course I just wanted to get it down to a decent consistency. And then for the onions on this one, I just went ahead and diced them pretty thin. I didn't saute them beforehand. I like them a little bit crunchier in the chili. And the same for the jalapenos also. I went ahead and cut those up. I did take out the stems, the middle, the membrane, and the seeds just to kind of take some of the overall heat out of the chili. And then as you can see with these, I just went ahead and diced these down pretty thin. For me personally, I like jalapenos in there. Definitely like the crunch of them, and I like them a little bit thinner. And then coming back over to the meat, I basically just made sure it was browned, not cooked all the way, and then went ahead and added it to the slow cooker. And then after that, I went ahead and added a cup of chicken broth. And of course you can use beef broth if you want to. 1 can of garbanzo beans, juice and everything. I've got 1 can of kidney beans. This is a low sodium version, just trying to keep some of the sodium out. And then 1 can of white chili beans. These are actually really good. I think I might double this one up next time. And then 1 can of tomato sauce, pretty much any brand that's out there, they're all fine. And then 1 small can of tomato paste. And then after that, I went ahead and added all of the onions and jalapenos that I had cut up. And then for this recipe, I wanted a little bit more protein, so I added a full 16-ounce container of cottage cheese. Now this one, I might go through and actually heat it up with the meat next time. That way it melts down a little bit more, but this was actually really good. And then of course, just grab a bigger spoon, get that a little bit more mixed up so it'll cook kind of evenly throughout. And then I added 1 packet of chili seasoning. Now the seasoning on this one turned out really good. I think I might do 2 packets of seasoning next time. It actually tasted really good, but it was a very mid-level or kind of a real basic kind of spice profile throughout the whole thing. And then of course, once that was done, probably about 3 hours in the slow cooker, I went ahead and dished it up kind of evenly into about 6 different bowls, which was actually probably a little bit more. I think I might get 7 out of this next time. And there you have it. That was the end of it. Went ahead and let those cool down a little bit, put the tops on them, and threw them in the fridge. All right, so that's pretty much it. This is a real easy recipe. I didn't find this one online. I just kind of looked at a bunch of different recipes that had stuff I liked with chili, and I basically just threw this one together for the first time. I have made chili in the past, and I've followed recipes. They always turn out really good, but I wanted to try something a little bit different on this one. And like I said, it actually turned out really good. It made 6 very good size helpings. I think I'll take that down for the next time I do this one and get 7 out of it. And I think all in all, I'll have to go through and kind of calculate everything back up. But the protein is very high on this one with the ground turkey, the cottage cheese. I'll have to look at the sodium. I know some of the things in there were low sodium, but some of them were not, which definitely bumps it up. So I'd like to get that down a little bit more. And the overall cost on this one, I think was just over $4 for 6 of the bowls, but if I took it down to 7, it went down to like, I think $3.71 per bowl, which is actually really good because I know anybody out there going and just buying your lunch, we do sandwiches a lot at work. We go through Jimmy John's or something like that, and that's $10, $15, $20 depending on what you do, what kind of sandwich you get. So being able to save that much per meal is absolutely incredible. And I think one of the things I would fix going forward in this recipe, and it's honestly, I hate to say something I'd fix because the chili was really good. But like I mentioned, when I added this seasoning packet for the chili, it was like a real mid-level baseline kind of spice profile, which is a good thing because it's not overpowering in anything. And when I first took a bite of it, I thought it it might have been a little bland, but as I got more into it, took a few more bites, it's definitely not bland at all. It was actually a perfectly well-rounded chili. You can taste everything that's in there. You got the onions, you got the beans, you got the cottage cheese, the meat, and then you got a little bit of the spice. And the reason I say this is a good mid-level kind of baseline chili or a starter chili is because a lot of people like different things with their chili. A lot of people like kind of a vinegar or ketchup based. Some people like a little bit more spice to theirs, and some people like them a little bit sweeter. So brown sugar, I've even seen people add syrup or stuff, anything like that, like maple syrup. So if you do want to take it that way, this is, like I said, a very good starter chili recipe. And then of course, if you like any one flavor profile to stand out, you can just add a little bit of that. Like if you like it sweet, adding a little bit of brown sugar to this would be absolutely incredible. But since I'm going for a little bit healthier, trying to lose weight type of chili, I kept it very baseline and very basic. But that's pretty much it with this one. I'm going to be doing a few more of these. I think I might go through and create like an all white bean chili on the next one. So if you have any thoughts on this one, anything that you would add to this, please let me know in the comment section down below. And if you do actually end up trying this recipe, let me know what you thought of it. And I do have more meal prep videos coming, so stay tuned for those, and we'll see you in the next episode.